By the power of Grayskull.
Hello, this is just a quick review for WWE 2K17 for the PS4. I've always been a fan of the wrestling games. I used to love watching the wrestling when I was younger. All the 80s, like early 90s stuff, that was class. But then the games have always stayed true to the franchise, and they've always been good. Bit arcadey, but then now they've moved into simulation territory where it's more of a simulator. There's a lot more options. Like in the footage now, you can see there's loads of hairstyles, there's loads of beards, loads of tattoos. But there isn't as many options in the tattoos anymore. They've only picked, say, the most popular 10 of the symbols and pictures, and then that's all there is. So it's quite limited. There used to be a lot more options for tattoo design and stuff like that, but maybe they'll add that in next year's game or something like that. But they have added a lot of new features, like I say, a lot of new haircuts, a lot of new clothes, loads of new different attire that you can wear, which is really good. And also they've changed it so now you can either have it all generic or you can have it like WWE superstar stuff. But if you click on the generic, it's in all the superstar stuff's included. It's just all plain white, so you can have like Mysterio's outfit, but it's all white, so you can add your own colors and do what you want. So that's a good little touch. I like how they've done that. And like I say, it's more of a simulation thing, but I didn't install the update straight away, so look at my shorts. They've like, the graphics are fucked up on them because it's 11 gig. The first day patch is 11 gig. It took over 8 hours to download because I'm using Wi-Fi. I haven't got a hard line in the back of my PS4, so it took ages. So I thought, fuck it, I'm just gonna play and just update it like later, so I couldn't use any network features. So I think some of the gripes I've got with the game is just due to the installation of the patch hasn't happened yet, so maybe it's a bit glitchy because of that, but I did find a few glitches in it straight away. Something else that fucks us off about this is that you're having to watch these promos every time you do a show, like when you're doing your career mode and you make it onto SmackDown or Raw. You have to watch a SmackDown or Raw promo every single time and you can't skip. So after about 3 or 4 times it gets on your nerves because it goes on for about a minute and a half. Does your head in, especially if you've seen them. So you're having to watch them all the time, you can't skip. So that I hate that on any game where you can't skip. But there's a lot more new characters, there's a load of new legends which never used to be on. But you have to go and buy them. Like, you earn VC, virtual currency, and that is the key to unlocking anything you want in the game. So what you have to do is basically play matches, earn VC, and then you can unlock things that you want.
Being a WWE superstar,
But I've found a way, because it rewards you for VC in anything that you do. Exhibition matches against your friends, playing online, doing your career mode, doing your universe mode. Anything you do, you'll get coins to spend. So instead of slogging it and going through the career mode and earning pennies, you can just put in an exhibition, have Goldberg versus someone shit, or Brock Lesnar versus someone shit, and then you can just hammer them, get a 5-star match, and then you get the 9,000 maximum VC for doing a 5-star match. You get like a cap at 9,000. So once you've got 5 stars, just finish the match, pin them, and then you'll get 9,000 VC, and that is a lot quicker and easier than having to actually earn it the proper way. So I don't know whether that's a little loophole, or whether they've just decided that's the best way to do the game, because some of the characters, like when you're on the character selection screen later, some of them are expensive as fuck, and like 45,000 VC or 30,000 VC, and considering you only get like, say, 1,800 per match, it takes ages to build it up. So you just play exhibition matches and get a 5-star and just get 9,000. You do that 10 times, there's your 90,000. Because you get a career mode. I picked a high flyer. I wanted my bloke to be a high flyer, but I can only climb onto the middle rope, not the actual top turnbuckle. So I've picked a special move where I do a diving elbow, which is an automatic pin off the top rope, and I can't do it because I can only climb up to the middle rope until I unlock the ability to jump from the top rope, but it's 90,000 VC, and I just thought that's far too much. So now you can just do exhibition matches. I'm not bothered, so I'll just do 10 exhibition matches, 5-star them, and then I'll just go and buy it. So in my career mode I can jump off the top rope. But it's just little shit like this, and on the footage now, because it's a simulation, it's a bit like FIFA where you have to pick the right conversation, or a lot of games nowadays, whatever you pick affects what happens. And on the wrestling, it's the crowd reaction. So depending on what you say, gets a good or a bad reaction from the crowd. If you keep saying all the good things, then you hype up the match and you get more VC that way. But you can say all the bad things, so the crowd hate you, and that's just as good. So it's like, what do you want to be, good or do you want to be bad? It's up to you. And depending on what you pick, the crowd react. But there is 4 different types of crowds. There's family friendly crowd, so obviously you've got to be nice on that. There's disrespectful, there's hardcore, and then there's respectful. So depending on what crowd you get given on the night of your match, it's up to you to figure out what to say. So I can see where they're going and what they're trying to do with it, but it's just a bit shit at the moment. It's in its early stages, it's the first rendition of it, so it's bound to be shit. So I'll just wait until the next wrestling game, and then it might be a bit more refined. But like I say, all the objects are interactive. I like that, how I picked up the dustbin, I hit him, and then it bent, and then I picked him up and slammed him onto the dustbin, and it interacted with him as well. It didn't just fling off or like ping off and get mad direction like they used to. Ladders and stuff would get stuck in the ropes and start like pinging all over the place, and it was just a nightmare. But this is a lot more interactive. Like I say, you can go backstage again now, and all the chairs and the tables and anything you use can be used to fight with. So I do like that aspect, because I used to have backstage brawling in other wrestling games, but they took it out for some reason, and now it's back. You can also create your own championship. You can create your own victory. So once you've won the match, you can choose what you want to do. You can entrances, your own entrance video, so you can use footage from you fighting, and then you can use that. There's certain special effects and screen effects and music and stuff you can put in to make your own video, which is good. But when you come to pick the music, like I know from other games where you're creating your own character and you can use like your own music. Like if you create Batman, you could just have like the Batman music as he's coming down the ring. But now you've only got the generic ones that they give you. You can't pick your own custom music, which is shit. So hopefully that's in the next rendition of the game that they'll have, where you can pick your own soundtrack. But like I say, see how it goes into split screen. That's another little thing I like. So you don't have to lose like sight of where you are, because in the old games the camera would just pan right out. If you're in the ring and someone runs up to the stage, then the camera just pans out and you just both go really small. So now it goes into split screen, so it's better there. This is the character selection screen. So anybody who's not unlocked in the roster, you have to buy with VC. So I bought Bushwhackers, and I bought Big Boss Man. I bought Scott Hall and the Ultimate Warrior and the Undertaker, because when I started I got something like 250,000 VC, so I went and spent it on some characters and stuff. Because I'm just going to have all the old legends in my roster. I don't want any new people. But like I say, at the top it says superstars, arenas and championships. So any new arenas, any new championships you want, you have to spend VC on and buy. So like I say, if it wasn't for being able to earn it in any mode possible, then it would be a nightmare, because it would take forever to save up all that VC for any characters that you want. But it does give you something to work towards, so I suppose that's good. So this is just like some of the entrances of the classic legends like Bossman and Butch from what's it called, the Bushwhackers. Because I love all the old. I wish they would bring out this game, these graphics, this kind of game engine, but just all legends, no new people. Anyone before, like anyone after the year 2000, say, doesn't make it into the game. You can only have between 1980 and 2000, and just have those like 20 years where it's just the prime good old wrestling, and then bring out a different game where it's all the new people, and you know, instead of just trying to cram them all onto one roster, because there's a load of people on this roster I could do without, haven't even heard of, which I would much rather replace with some good old-fashioned legends. I don't know, just they can't please all the people all the time. That's the problem with game developers. No matter what they do, there's always going to be someone who's not happy. But I just like the idea how you've got legends in it, and plus anybody, Demolition, Legion of Doom, people who aren't in the game, you can download from the community, or you can just fucking try and make them yourself, because all the options are there in the creation mode, so you can do them yourself if you can be asked. And yeah, it's just like Ultimate Warrior. He's my favourite character. He doesn't look as good when he first debuted in the 2014 game, I think it was. He looked a lot better on that, but I do like him. He's got all the entrances, he's got all the specials, and just, you know, it is good. But I think the faces and the graphics aren't as good. And here, to see how you can break out, it said X, break out. So while I'm celebrating, I can break out, and the match continues, you know, like afterwards. After the match, like sometimes you see on the telly and they'll start fighting, or in the middle while he's talking on the microphone, someone will come and just attack him. You can do that kind of thing now. You can run down to the ring, or you can come in mid-match and you can like help them, which was on 2015, but they've took it to the next level on this one, where there's a lot more things to do. Also, you can fight in the crowd, you can throw them over the barrier, and you can fight in the crowd. You know, so there's a lot more, and you've got some new taunts as well. Like you can taunt to the crowd, you can taunt in the corner, and you know, so there's a lot of things I do like about it. So if you like the wrestling, just go out and buy it, because it's definitely worth it. And it's full of customization, so should be good. So that's it. See you later.
You are a smelly pirate hooker. You are a smelly pirate hooker.